A Jets move is incoming as a report has revealed a wild update on the New York Jets. As after an issue that was really prominent last season, the New York Jets have now found a way to change that. And also they made a very sneaky move as well, which will help this cause. And we're going to break it all down. What's up, guys? Welcome back to Jets Digest. It's Chris and Matt here, and we're going to jump right into things. As always, if you guys are part of that 68% that's not subscribed to Jets Digest, make sure to subscribe. We're on that grind. Videos every day you do not want to miss out on. But let's jump into the video. There is a lot to discuss. Darren Mougey is fixing a problem that the New York Jets had last season, and it was a serious, serious issue. And that was none other than kicker Greg Zuerlein last year. After the year prior, Greg Zuerlein reincarnated his old Greg the Like self from the Rams when he was a phenomenal kicker. But then last season, things went quite awry. He caused the Jets to lose multiple games and is one of the biggest people at fault for the New York Jets losing some key games that led to the torrential downfall that was the New York Knicks, the New York Jets. I'm falling apart right now because all I can think about is how I called a downfall a down for. So we're just going to continue to push through. As Zach Rosenblatt mentioned, he's predicting that Anders Carlson will be the kicker, with Thomas Morstead as the punter, the long snapper being Thomas Hennessy, while Greg Zuerlein, Austin McNamara, Caden Davis, the UDFA, those guys will all be out. The Jets will have legit competition for both Zuerlein and Morstead in training camp. Zuerlein had a rough 2024, and barring a stellar camp, it would be surprising if the Jets kept him. Morstead has a past relationship with special teams coordinator Chris Banjo, so Rosenblatt does expect him to stick around. Also, he's a good veteran to have. Davis is an intriguing option, but he only has a few years of experience as a kicker, and he might be better suited for the practice squad. Now, Caden Davis was the sneaky move the New York Jets went out there and made recently, as they signed Davis as an undrafted free agent to be another person in that kicker room, kicking literally to try to get that opened up Jets spot. It's not clear who the Jets kicker is going to be. It'd be shocking if it was Greg Zuerlein. Right now, Anders Carlson does appear to be the favorite. Looking at Davis's stats throughout this time, last season at college, 2 years at Ole Miss, he led the SEC in field goals made with 24 after attempting 29. On top of that, you go and you look at Anders Carlson, who I've called Anders and Anders, so I'm doing all of it. And he was good with the Jets. He had 13 made field goals and 15 attempts. So the extra points were not as good, making 12 extra points and 15 attempts. So, Matt, obviously the Jets will not have some top-tier kicker next season, most likely, given the kicker is a fluctuating position. But very interesting to see what's going down here.
So, yeah, well, one thing we do know is Greg Zuerlein definitely needs to get cut, because when you're a good kicker in the NFL, as soon as your kicking ability starts to go, it starts to go immediately, and he's not going to bounce back, because that's not how veteran kickers work in the NFL. Just like what we're seeing from the Ravens with Justin Tucker, they're going to cut Justin Tucker too. You don't fall off a little bit at the kicker position. You fall off all the way. Greg Zuerlein, absolutely done being a New York Jet. And honestly, just like you said, I'm kind of done watching him, because he did miss a lot of kicks last year, and that was extremely frustrating to see on top of an already extremely frustrating season. Now, we got Anders Carlson, who has an opportunity, but he's also not really a great kicker. The guy I'm excited about is Caden Davis out of Ole Miss, because by being a rookie, he inherently comes with, some question marks. And one of those question marks is, what if he's a lot better than we think? Now, as far as kickers go, pretty open and shut how the competition works. You kick in practice, whoever makes the most kicks gets the job. It's not as deep as the other positions. It's not like film. There's no film to watch. It just comes down to, did you make the kick? Did you not make the kicks? So it's going to be either Caden Davis or Anders Carlson. Now, I mean, honestly, I think it would be likely for them to bring in another option, another player to come in and kick for that job. Hopefully another veteran like Anders Carlson, but unlike Anders Carlson, a veteran who's actually good. Now, who that may be in free agency, I don't have the list out in front of me right now, so I'm not sure. I understand that really, really good kickers are not available in free agency, so we're going to have to take a risk on whoever it is. But, we saw a couple of years ago, Jason Myers came in and kicked really, really well for us. And I'm hoping that the New York Jets, this new regime with Aaron Glenn and Darren Mougey, are going to be able to go out and find another successful kicker to close out games and just make I don't want to call them easy plays, because I can't kick, but a lot of people who, these NFL kickers, they hit a high percentage of their kicks. The good ones do. So let's go find a good one.
I agree. And yeah, look, they're not going to get an elite kicker unless one just appears out of thin air the way that Myers did for the Jets. He became a Pro Bowler. The Jets evidently didn't bring him back. That was a terrible move. He ended up with the Seahawks. Look, it was really frustrating. We've talked about this. We've talked about this for years now too. How that was just an awful misstep. But Zerline was good for that year. But as you mentioned, it's not one of those positions where you have a bounce back year. Once you start to fade, you're done. And Greg Zerline is done. He's not going to kick for the Jets anymore. It'll either be Anders Carlson most likely or Caden Davis. I mean, look, it's not a thrilling battle. I agree with you. I'd prefer Davis because there are those questions, and one of them being, what if he is good? That's happened before. Sometimes kickers do appear, and they just show up, and they're good. And I think it's that thing that we've talked about with, obviously much different position, but the thing we've talked about how, like, if the Jets ended up drafting a rookie quarterback high enough up, everyone would just be waiting for Justin Fields to screw up to ask for that rookie quarterback to come in the sense of you look at a rookie and what you see is a story that hasn't been written yet. And yeah, that might not work out, but at the same time, it might. And fans are always optimistic with rookies. It's very rare where you bring in unless it's a high pick who you just adamantly disagree with, and those situations do obviously happen. Fans are usually cautiously optimistic in regards to rookies, and especially with a position like kicker for the Jets that there hasn't been a clear answer at outside of that 1 year that Zerline was good. You're just hoping that you could find stability at a position that it gets really aggravating when you have a guy just shanking kicks. And I mean, Zerline missed a bunch of key kicks, like for instance the Broncos game. Had he made that, there's a world where the Jets are in the playoffs because Saleh's not getting fired and things are not going to go completely as haywire as they were going to. And yeah, the Jets offense was terrible that game, but still the same thing stands where if Zerline just makes the kick, the whole season changes. And you could say that 3 or 4 times over on Zerline.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. But at least this year, when we have Justin Fields as our quarterback instead of Aaron Rodgers, when our kicker, should our kicker miss a game-winning field goal like that, Justin Fields is going to, at the press conference, he's going to say, I should have gotten the offense closer instead of what Aaron Rodgers said, which was like blaming on the kicker. Dude,
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers just loves blaming everything else on his teammates. It's never his fault.
Never, ever has been Aaron Rodgers' fault, Matt. But want to know whose fault it also isn't? The great Knicks Digest fans. Guys, how are you feeling about the kicker position? Let us know in the comments down below.
The great Jets Digest fans is what I think you meant to say. Knicks.
Them too. And also Yankees. And now, starting today, Mets Digest as well. Subscribe to all those channels. Like this video. Turn on post notifications.